About a week ago, I got an email from a client saying that their prior SEO company just took us down on Twitter. And it was such a hilarious misrepresentation of what had actually happened that I had to share it here. Hey everyone, I am here with probably one of the most interesting stories that I've had to share in a little while. And it deals with a guy who's putting himself out there as an e-commerce SEO expert, and he's putting down past clients and other agencies as a way of doing it. And we've got some great dirt. So you definitely don't want to miss this video. I'm really excited to share it with you today. Let me give you a little bit of backstory and some context. We have a client we've been working with since April on pay-per-click, and just recently signed up to work with them on SEO as a result of really a lot of inactivity and an inability to make a difference and move the needle on behalf of their prior SEO company. Last week, I'm sitting in a meeting, I get an email from a client, and I actually read a lot of our client emails as they come through. And he basically says our previous SEO agency just called us out on X. And that, of course, seems kind of like a, whoa, what's happening? That doesn't, again, 16 years in, I don't think I've ever seen an SEO agency call out a client. So I jump right in, I take a look at this guy's post, and I start to dig into this guy's profile, and he's got a lot of followers on X, he's on LinkedIn, I think he's even on Reddit, and he puts himself out there as this e-commerce SEO expert, and he tells this story about a brand canceling his services 4 months ago. They wanted to bundle all their services and save money by going to their paid ad agency, which is us. It's not a true part of the story. And then he goes on to say, so since the agency took over, their keyword rankings have absolutely plummeted. Some of the brand's most valuable keywords have been lost. And he goes on to say that this other agency, they're only good at pay-per-click. They should stay in one lane. You can't be good at two things. And his client should have stuck with this expert. And I was looking at this and I'm cracking up because I know the real story. We started working with this brand back in April this year as a pay-per-click agency. As we're working with them, going through their analytics, talking to them, we're hearing more and more about their current SEO agencies really been unable over a period of time to arrest this sort of alarming slide in results that they've experienced. And it's pretty dramatic. You can see what's going on in SEMrush. It just shows this sort of like, wow, everything absolutely been washed out. And something is clearly wrong. So the client decides to cancel on this other SEO expert, the one who's writing this post, and hires us to work on it. What do we find, lo and behold, in Google Search Console that has been sitting there unaddressed for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, but a manual penalty from Google? This does not happen. It shouldn't happen, especially if you have a competent SEO. Since December of last year, there has been a standing manual SEO penalty from Google against this website because of this SEO guy's work. He had been relying so much on thin, duplicative spam content that was just throughout the whole site that Google actually hit it with a manual penalty. Again, not something that really happens all that often anymore. Back in the 2010s, when I was getting into SEO and really kind of cutting my teeth on large sites and watching other things happening around me, stories about manual penalties were happening a lot more frequently. And so this guy, he's out there, he's got this post saying like they've lost all this and so on. But no, dude, you literally have this manual penalty sitting out there for the work you did. And guess what? This was what makes it even worse. He knew about it. We looked at the manual action. We could see that he had actually just gone in, same day it came through. He went through and he clicked the nice little reconsideration request button there in Google, asking Google to go ahead and reconsider their thoughts about how spammy his work was. Google does not love that. If you're going to go ahead and get hit by a manual penalty, it means you've done something pretty wrong. You need to actually think about what it was and you need to start to fix it before you hit that reconsideration request. This guy, nope, a few minutes later, beep, let's hit that reconsideration request. We'll be good. Needless to say, nothing changed, nothing happened. A few days later, after he had executed his brilliant SEO e-commerce strategy, he had gone in and deleted a bunch of content off of the website. He tried reconsidering again, and guess what? Still no juice. Google still doesn't love just the fact that you deleted a bunch of content off your site, and that's not enough to resolve some of these particular penalties. And so this guy, I mean, is just like doing the absolute worst job you could possibly be at SEO. He manages to stick it out with them for another 6 months, which is kind of a crazy thing. Like, it's painful. Probably just selling nonsense to these folks, this brand, trying to convince them that, like, hey, he's doing the right kind of SEO, it's good SEO, et cetera, et cetera. And ultimately, the underlying issue's still there. He's not really done anything to address or resolve it. And really, fundamentally, this guy just was doing a lot of stuff that will kill your SEO campaigns. Lots and lots and lots of thin, spammy, fully AI generated, or frankly, copy-pasted content from a lot of other websites. And on top of that, extraordinarily a spammy link builder. Just all sorts of forums with crazy, crazy levels of comment spam. And that's where he's built most of the links to this website. Senate.go.th, 137 linked comments on a single page. Cafe24.com, customcommercesolutions.com. He just has this massive list of spammy websites that he's gone through and dumped in and paid for probably the cheapest links. And now he has the nerve to be out there going ahead and bragging about the amazing work he did and how much it's tanked it since he's been gone. So what Coalition is doing, we've actually gone through the process of reviewing their website, reviewing the content that was produced for them. We're beginning to pull out some of the content that really is spammy, it's bad, it doesn't have a reason really to exist. We're rewriting and we're republishing under new URLs a lot of that content. So it's coming back out, but it's being handled by our team of human writers. It's well thought through. It fits into the grand navigation scheme of this particular website. It actually has a connection back to some of the products. Again, this is an e-commerce website. This guy's strategy was just spammy blogs largely. And so we're actually trying to weave some of these things back into product evaluations, product trials, product differentiations, exploring some of the product specifications more. And we're also going through the process of working on cleaning up some of these link profiles. A lot of times we're just going to ignore spammy links and we're going to simply work on building positive links, partially because of the fact that Google really is pretty capable of identifying what a bad link is these days. And so disavowing it doesn't do you a lot of good and sometimes can even be a little bit risky. So we've done all of that. We're in the process of getting that all done. We've actually been able to get that reconsideration request through. We have that penalty lifted, and we're really excited by some of the early results we're seeing. We're seeing some positive upward movement in some of the keywords, which have really been stuck for a while. And although we're nowhere near where they were in terms of, years and years ago, we are on a place where we know we don't have this penalty over us anymore. We don't have this SEO baggage from Mr. SEO shill ecom expert on Twitter or X working against them anymore. And so just overall kind of a crazy story, the nerve of the guy, and a bit of the humor of just having been in SEO this long and just seeing someone who's able to spin what was really a disastrous effort on his part into a case study that he's now promoting and publishing across LinkedIn and Twitter. Happen to see anybody who's got a post like that, you might know who it is, and maybe steer clear of that individual for your own SEO campaign, or keep a real close eye on that manual penalty alert because it could be you next.